I believe that being a Christian means that you're a disciple of Jesus. And I personally believe that our discipleship of Jesus should be lived out radically in this world. I believe that Jesus has very radical claims, and that it's an extreme thing to follow him. So I believe that that walk in following Jesus is a very serious measure that should be lived out fully in this world. I also believe that Jesus came to this world to give us a life of true fullness that can only be accomplished by self-sacrifice, by giving up ourselves to live fully for him. When we do that, I think he blesses us in a special way so that we can live a new life that before we never would have been capable of on our own. I personally have been involved in ministry for 5-6 years or so, preached, been a part of campus ministries, youth ministries. I've done foreign mission work in Thailand for over a year. So I've been doing things like this for a while, is some of my background. I'm a huge fan of simple church models. I really like house church models and just simple church models where we're incarnational at a part of our community.
Thank you, Gary. Landon, I believe you're next after that.
Well, first I want to say thank everybody for coming, and also our main reason I think for doing this is just to show everyone that rational conversation between religion and skepticism can happen. It doesn't just have to be two separate entities that never communicate with one another. We need to communicate, and that's what we're doing this for. I'm an atheist, and I describe myself as a militant atheist, only to say that I'm very loud. And I think it's important to understand what an atheist is, because especially around here in the Bible Belt, you get a lot of misconceptions about what an atheist actually is. So, atheist, the word, is actually a 7th century Greek term. Atheos, the prefix a meaning without and theos meaning God. So an atheist simply means without a God. The only characteristics to be an atheist that you have to share is that you do not believe in a God. Nothing else. You can't characterize an atheist as anything else. There's no codes, there's no conduct that you should have to follow. And that's basically what an atheist is. My background, I was raised/reared, whichever one you like better, in a Southern Baptist church here in Murray, Kentucky, actually. And I wouldn't say I was necessarily indoctrinated or anything, but I went to church pretty much every Sunday and learned quite a bit about it from then. I guess that's really all I have to say about myself and my background.
Thank you, Randy. And Lindsay?
I'm Lindsay Morris, and I represent Agnosticism, and I just wrote mine down. Agnosticism translates into without knowledge. This term was first used in the 1860s by T.H. Huxley. Philosophical view states that the truth value of certain claims, particularly metaphysical claims regarding theology, the afterlife, the existence of deities, or even ultimate reality, is unknown and unknowable. Agnosticism, just like any other theology of belief, can have a broad range of meaning and include a diversity of beliefs. So what do I mean when I say that I am an agnostic? Specifically, I embrace the position of an agnostic theist, which holds the view that I cannot claim to know the existence of any deity, but I still believe in the probability that there is an existence of a deity. Why do I believe that I cannot know God or answer the questions to the existence of God without empirical evidence, yet I still subscribe to the possibility of the existence of God? Basically, this comes down to personal choice or a personal faith. I would like to believe that because there is so much knowledge that cannot be obtained in the metaphysical world, that there is a spiritual world beyond the metaphysical world that will be able to begin to answer the questions that cannot be answered in this particular reality. Since I do believe that there is a possibility of a deity, who would this be? In my reality, God is a clockmaker God that sets the wheels in motion for life, but watches humanity from a distance and does not mediate between the metaphysical world and the spiritual world.
Thank you.
All right. My name is Reardon Scalzidi Sanders, and I'm from Chicago. I'm an atheist. I do not believe in a supernatural God and have not found any evidence convincing enough to change my position. I studied religion for a good amount of years. I just never found any reason to believe in the deity. I just didn't find anything convincing enough.
Thank you. That's very brief.
Another quick thing, just to add real quick, just to show you why there's two atheists, an agnostic and a Christian, is if you were to scale it on 1 to 5, 1 being that there is absolutely a God, and 5 being that there is absolutely not a God, I would probably rate myself at a 4.9999 repeatedly. So that would be me.
I would be a 4.
Anybody?
Told you be fair.
Wait, that there is a God?
One being that there absolutely is.
Yeah,
1.
I would be a 1.
I'll probably be a 3.5.
The panelists asked for there to be 2 questions. Each one has a minute and a half to answer. And the first question, as you will see from your program, is, let's start with you, Reardon. How do you explain the fact that societies have today held a belief in God?
I've actually, like, the way that I see it is that religions are actually like a system of control. It's a way to pacify people into not expecting a lot out of their own lifetime. Instead of striving for a better situation, like religion, sometimes can pacify people into not questioning and not wanting any more from their lives, because they think in the next life that everything's going to be awesome and great, and this life is just something that you have to battle through, and then after it's over, you get to go to the happy hunting ground.
Very good. Thank you. Would you like to take that?
Sure. I took the question a little bit different angle, but I'd say that a lot of our biologists like E.O. Wilson, Richard Dawkins, Daniel Dennett, people like that, believe that religion started largely in hunter-gatherer societies when they were coming together to have rituals, tribal rituals to make it rain and, make the sun shine, make the crops grow and stuff like that. And I say that to say that the human brain is largely developed in the Pleistocene era, and therefore we're highly solipsistic, which means we are really prone to wishful thinking. We'd rather have a fantastic answer than no answer at all. And these people in this time needed a way to explain things. They see lightning, what's that? Well, it's Zeus's thunderbolt, right? That's, at least it's an answer, We also have a tendency toward a dualistic mind, which is like when you're driving down the road and you swerve and you almost hit a telephone pole. What do? Some people curse the telephone pole like it's an animate object. Dualistic mind means we tend to give animate properties to inanimate objects. And also, just to say one more thing, it's called to say that because societies are religious, and to say that it lends any credence to the validity of it, it's what you call an argumentum ad populum. It's not a viable way to argue. It's a common logical fallacy. So.
Thank you.
I actually wanted to share a part of the Bible where one of the Christians, he talks about this in the book of Acts, actually, when he's in Athens. He says that God, he made all people in different diverse cultures from one original person. He's talking about Adam, allowing each culture to have its own time to develop, giving each its own place to live and thrive in its distinct ways. So his purpose in all this was that people of every culture and region would search for this ultimate God, grope for him in the darkness, as it were, hoping to find him. Then he said, the truth is that God is not far from each one of us. So I would say that people have thought that there was a God because there is a God, and that people of other religions have had deity ideas because God wanted them to realize that there is an ultimate God, and one day would use their ideas of whatever deity they believed in so that they might find the one true God.
Thank you. And
I think people use religion as a justification for evil or suffering. I think that they recognize that evil and suffering were not going to go away, and they needed something to kind of combat, why some people thought life on earth was so, negative or bad, and they use religion as a reason to push for good or make things better.
Thank you. The second question is this, and again, folks, this is on your program. In your opinion, and let's start with you this time, Lindsay, could morality exist without religion? And each panelist has 1.5 minutes.
100%, I believe